Hi everybody, George Donley here with today's BCH Ignite vlog. Now yesterday I was talking about inflows and what those have to do with merchant adoption. It'll be helpful to watch that video first before you watch this. So I said that I would talk about what inflow sources could be interesting, and I think primarily among them are remittances. So remittances are monetary transfers across borders, generally speaking. And I believe in a previous video I said that that was about a $600 billion per year industry. And what I mean by that is that those remittances total $600 billion. So now I reviewed my notes and actually it's closer to $700 billion. And that I'm not sure if that's a 2018 or 2019 number. Also, remittances are growing, yeah? They're not stagnating. And this is a result of financial exclusion in the developing world, where we see that, people leave their home country and come to places like the United States and Europe in order to earn enough money to have a decent, level, quality of life, and also to send money home. And so, for example, you see a lot of Latin Americans in Spain or in Florida or Chicago, for example, doing this. You see a lot of Filipinos in the Arab world, in Japan. So this is a huge phenomenon. And if you just take remittances that are from to middle and low income countries, so basically the developing world, that's $529 billion per year. So that's the overwhelming majority of those flows. So let's take a look at Latin America. Latin America, it was 88 billion, and it had grown. I believe that's 2018 number, and it had grown by 10% year over year. So remittances is a huge, just a huge flow of money. It's just big. It's a big target. It's a big market. All right, so what's wrong with remittances today? Well, average fees globally are 7 to 8%. All in, yeah. So they're not cheap. They're not cheap. And when you take into account, I had someone tell me about a story in Venezuela where there are a lot of small-scale remittance networks that have popped up to serve, the Venezuelan diaspora, because possibly 3 to 5 million, some say even more, people have left Venezuela during this crisis over there with the socialist dictatorship. And those people, for example, the great majority of them are here in Colombia. Those people come over and they want to earn, and then they have to send money home, because usually they leave the older generation and the younger generation behind, So a typical case would be young woman leaves, comes to earn money, and then she sends money home to her grandparents who might be taking care of her children. Sorry, not her grandparents, but her parents who might be taking care of her children. That's not uncommon. So anyway, you take a case like Venezuela where, she may remit money home, and first, the fees are not always clear. Also, because it's just a bunch of small mom and pop remittance shops mostly, sometimes the money never arrives. And then once it gets there, it's in bolívares, usually. I'm not sure if that has changed recently, but that's what my intelligence was from a few months ago. And then people seek to change that into dollars, into physical dollars, yeah? And so I've seen cases where that has cost 40%. And that's just crazy. Cuba is another interesting case where, due to U.S. sanctions and another, socialist dictatorship problem there, average fees are around 15%. And there are a lot of Cubans in Miami, who may be sending money home. Likewise, to send to Venezuela, some top countries are Colombia, Chile, Spain, the United States. Yeah, so all of these give rise to remittance corridors. Yeah, where you can connect a sender and a receiver. So, you know, another interesting thing is that damn, I forgot what I was going to say. So, so remittances are, and also now in Latin America, you also see some nations that are net senders. For example, Costa Rica is a net sender from time to time when there are problems in places like, when problems flare up in places like Nicaragua, for example, or El Salvador. There's a big remittance corridor between Chile and Haiti. You know, for some reason, Haitians, you know, when they have a problem, have decided to go to Chile recently. So we have to find all these remittance corridors. You know, when somebody is going to send a remittance, they are actively in the market to for a new currency. Yeah. And these are people who have left their home country, so they're not fans of their home country currency. Yeah. These people are, you know, you tend to see, you know, like in Bitcoin Cash right now, we tend to see a brain drain, right? But so the opposite is present here. You know, I think there's a tendency for some of the best brains, or at least the most proactive, ambitious people, forward-thinking, to be the ones who leave their home country of, you know, Venezuela, Philippines, whatever, and go somewhere else to make a better life. And so these are our people. Yeah, if you look at the Bitcoin Cash community, it's mostly forward-thinking people. You know, we're early adopters. If you look at Crossing the Chasm, seminal business book on how to sell high technology, how to get it across the chasm from early adopters to the mainstream. You know, we are those early adopters, and we need more early adopters. You know, we need to build kind of an early adopter army to get over the chasm into the mainstream. So, you know, and also in the beginning, I don't see why we couldn't do fiat to fiat for remittance transactions, and just use Bitcoin Cash as the transport layer. And after a while, when people see that we're saving money, and, you know, that we're using Bitcoin Cash, and we get them set up with our app, and you know, maybe we're giving them back some rewards in the form of SLP tokens, then we can get people to hold it, and then we can connect people with merchants. Here's the payoff. You know, then we can connect them to merchants. And because they're sold on it and they've seen the utility and they're holding it, or maybe they're holding you know, some mix of BCH and, say, USDH, a stable coin that is an SLP token that runs on Bitcoin Cash. Now, you know, they have it, right? We've made progress towards solving the inflows problem, because now money is flowing in. Now we have our hand in that torrent of money that's flowing in, and you know, some of it is coming in as Bitcoin Cash, and we can connect those people to merchants. And over time, you know, as long as we comport ourselves and in a business-like manner and provide value, people are gonna start switching over more and more to Bitcoin Cash and carrying more of it with them. Or, you know, USDH or whatever stable coin. You know, because also one interesting thing we have in Latin America, for example, the US dollar remains king, but it's not easy to get your hands on dollars. You know, it's not easy to have a US dollar bank account, for example. But if we can put like USDH as a US dollar bank account on your phone, permissionless, free, dude. So anyway, in another episode, I might talk about another inflow source that I've done some research on. Thanks for watching. I know this episode is a little longer than usual, but I had some depth to go into it. And today we've got a live stream focused on these very topics. with some great special guests, so I hope you'll join us. Thanks for watching.